What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. Rich is being able to keep your loved ones close and also send them away. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Sal Polis, 217-732-4001. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, streaming live on YouTube, or listen to us on the go on the Mixler app, or listen to us the old-fashioned way. Turn on the old FM radio.
Turn on the old FM
96.
Radio. Go for a little ride, if you will.
0.3.
Love the FM radio.
FM. We are broadcasting live from Copper and Oak. And
we're on the patio.
We're on the patio out here.
Nice
Nice
right now.
Saturday.
Gonna heat up again today.
It's supposed to rain today, isn't it?
I hope
Jim,
so.
is it supposed to rain?
Scattered showers.
This weather report brought to you by Jim.
Scattered showers.
He took his headphones off for that to tell us.
You got his big radio voice going. Well, fellas,
it's going to rain today.
Well, we have some guests in-house today. We'll get them on after our first break here. But the Lincoln Railers from 1975 football team, they're going to join us.
They're going to be joining us.
Talk about their season. Yeah, they're raring to go.
So very similar to the 95 team, actually.
Yeah, that's
almost the
weekend
opposite.
Too, yes. Yes,
almost the opposite of the 95 team.
There's a lot of reunions in town this weekend.
There are.
Yeah. It's like everybody's starting to have a homecoming, which it makes sense. Yeah, have come home, go to a football game. I didn't see any of the Raider game last night.
I did not either.
I did.
But tell us about it, Jake. Update us a little bit.
The bus ride was good. Solid bus ride. And it was a home game. It was a home game. The kids are playing hard. You can tell there's a lot of youth on that team, and on the defensive side of the ball, they were gang tackling well, and they were getting to the ball as best they could, and they played their hearts out. So
Oh, that's good. Just got to keep getting better.
You keep improving each week. I mean, you got to look for some silver linings, get some individual players making some plays, and, hopefully it comes together and pulls a couple wins out for the year. So we'll see how it turns out. U-High's obviously had a much larger team last night and a little bit older, so I think that helped.
U-High made a state run last year, and I know I talked to a few of the parents, and they were I think they said they lost 10 starters on offense and 10 on defense, so they're rebuilding also. But they got a good football program running over there.
They got a few more kids to choose from, and when you have that ability, you can rebuild a little quicker than.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, not only that, but being able to recruit to come to your school from 35 miles away, that helps a little bit. And then
the high schools can't recruit.
Yeah.
Jacob,
I've seen how U-High does it, actually. So, and then also playing on that field up there at ISU, that doesn't hurt anything.
Well, that's an awesome place.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice an awesome place
kid.
At our age, but boy, for a high school kid, professional, right there. Very cool.
About as good as it gets. Yeah.
Well, Ticketmaster has an announcement that he would like us to throw out on there.
Okay.
The West Lincoln Broadwell boys baseball team at 15-5 will play Bloomington Corpus Christi, who are 14-6 for the sectional championship today at 11 a.m. at Lincoln Junior High School.
At Lincoln Junior High, let's go! It's going to be a slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker.
Yep. It's no holds barred. I guess they threw out all the rules. Cages will be locked. Kids,
nice.
Is that 28 kids enter? One kid leaves.
One kid leaves.
Wow. Did you ever win one of those, Jacob?
No.
Hey,
tapped out right after
Hey, did you say that's at the junior high? What time?
11.
Very cool. Oh, that'll be a good day for that.
What was it, regional championship? Sectional championship.
Sectional
Yeah, they're
championship.
going. If they pull this one off, folks, they're going to state.
That's very cool.
State baseball is always cool.
Yeah, Lincoln Railers lose a tough one last night for their homecoming final 47-0.
47.
It was 35-0. I turned it on at halftime, and it's 35-0 half. So
yeah, it had a tough break right there, right before half, and opened it up so U-High could punch an extra one in there at the end. So. But good crowd, great crowd. I mean, all the homecoming classes showing up, and the stands were packed. I mean, there was a good crowd there for them.
I don't know that we'll get to Coach Sokowski.
I got
allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly.
So we'll. I don't know if we'll get Silky on. What did the Olympia Spartans do last night? Do we know that?
Yeah, they were I was just trying to look it up and see. I couldn't see a final last night, and I haven't talked to Coach. But they were in a barn burner with Athens, like 24-23 late in the game.
Oh.
Talk Coach Fricky. They got a big W last night. And in the game of the year so far, Chatham beat Rochester at Rochester 43-42.
Ooh, good game.
And you're like, wow, Rochester must be down, but
Chatham's good.
But wow, that's a 6A school you played right with, and you're going to pop in those playoffs in 4A.
Yeah.
So I think you're okay.
Good time of year to lose, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but boy, that's a big deal to that Chatham crowd. They've been trying to beat Rochester for a long time. Those two schools are. We're going to have our hands full with Chatham when they come to town. Much like we did with Rochester.
I heard we're going to be able to throw all over them.
We'll
shout out to some terrific bass.
We'll throw all over them.
Bring back the two huddle. Mix it up.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Let's.
Hold on. Lloyd gave us an update.
I will say.
Athens 37, Olympia 28.
I knew it was a tight game at the end.
I tell you what, though, it seems like the last 3 years or so, line's been coming on. Every year when they play Athens, it's a heck of a game.
Oh yeah.
So I think they had one that was kind of a blowout, but other than that, they've been great.
Oh, it always is. That's true.
Well, let's take a commercial break, and we'll get these fine young men from the 1975 football team on, and
let's get these Railers on.
Here's some stories. So let's take a commercial break. We'll be back. You're listening to The Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. Rich is being able to keep your loved ones close and also send them away. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Sal Polis, 217-732-4001. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 20.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hello, Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo. Shabadoo! On 96.3 FM, WLCN.
Over here on what's the name of this place? WLCN. You're on the cheap seats, fellas. This is #1 Saturday morning sports show in all of Logan County between the hours of 9 and 10. And you guys are guests on it today. Joe Ryan back with you, and we've had a couple of our guys step out over there. Don't they look cute? Little chairs. So we had to load up here with this 1975 football team. You're in here for how many years of a class reunion? 50. Yeah, I knew that. I was going to hear you guys say it. 50 years.
See if we still remembered.
That seems like a long time you guys been out of high school.
Oh, yeah. It does seem like a long time.
And you're all pretty mature, right?
Maybe.
I want you to go around and just tell everybody who you are, and just tell us who you are so everybody knows.
Okay. You first.
You're first.
Okay, my name is Zig Zurkhammer.
Oh, is it not on? There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay, my name is Zig Zurkhammer.
And
I was a fullback and a linebacker my senior year, but I have played offensive guard before, and I kind of like that too.
Did you kick too?
Yeah, I kicked, I punted.
You did it all.
Yeah, most of it, not all of it.
I know what you did. I know. I've been listening to you tell stories for years.
I'm Tom Schonauer, on the team, one of the captains along with Zeke and Gus and Greg Prisk.
They said you anchored the lines, what I was told.
Well, Zeke was right. Our junior year, it was he and I on the right side of the line, and that was pretty beefy on that side. But then he got in the fullback position, and he did great there. He was a fantastic athlete.
Yeah, he liked the football.
Oh, he's brutal.
Speaking of liking the football, here comes another guy that liked the football.
Absolutely. I'm Mark Guzauskas. Everybody calls me Gus. I was a tailback and linebacker. Us 3 or 4 basically stayed on the field the entire game. I remember one time I ran a touchdown for 80 yards and I had to kick off, and I'm out of wind. I run by the sidelines. I was like, "Coach, let someone else kick." And Danny Dare, "Get your butt out there." I kicked off. It went about 10 yards.
Well, if you'd have been working during doubles, you'd have been okay.
We did a little working during doubles.
Okay, we'll move along.
All right, my name is Jeff McClard. I'm the child of this group. I'm the young guy. I was a junior that year, and I split time at quarterback with Doug Reifstack when Greg Prisk got there.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, and you were a 3-sport athlete. You were all over the baseball, basketball court. Yep. I remember you. This one. Just pass that.
My name's Kevin Thompson. I was a left guard and outside linebacker.
Anchoring the line.
I anchored the line on my side. I had Dan out on the other side of me. The other
May he rest in peace.
Guard, the tackle, about the same size as Tom, and we actually had the 200-pound average for our line, I believe it was, or 210, was it?
More than that.
It was more than that.
Yeah, you guys were a big offensive line.
Yes, we were, and now we're even bigger.
You all look pretty good. You know what I mean?
We'd be good for one play, and that would be about it for me, for sure.
Well, when we get to talking about, when we go into let's go into that. Well, so one step back. When did you guys feel like you were going to be good? Could you
freshman year?
Could you feel it when you're that young? Like, hey, we're going to be pretty good.
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
You're on.
We were lucky in the sense that all 4 years we never had a losing season. And so Mac knew when, after our junior year, there was some beefalos on the team and stuff like that. he was looking forward to that year, that 75 season, because he knew that he had the size. And back then, and I think it's still kind of the same today, Lincoln was always the smallest school in the conference. And to get beat by Lincoln was like an embarrassment for a Springfield school or Decatur, Champaign, and whatnot. And we were fortunate. We kind of kicked everyone's hiney that year and stuff.
We pretty much, the start of our senior season, we knew that we were good, and as the first few games, I knew it was something special, and it became a county goal to go undefeated. And we had a couple close games. Didn't think we were going to pull out, but we did. So we just, we've known each other for so many years and played so many sports together. You just trusted your teammate was going to do his job, and you do your job, and that's how it works.
So, what was your record? Go ahead.
I accomplished, I gave a lot of credit because we were the first through the youth football program, and I think that attributed a lot to our success. Was the fact that we had 2 extra years of playing together. It might have been against each other, but I thought we did really well on the youth football circuit.
So that was all coming on, then you guys do it.
Yeah, the youth football thing. Growing up, I played baseball and basketball. I never, because I couldn't throw.
Kind of soft.
I couldn't throw a football worth the crap. So I didn't really like, I didn't play football that much. So my 7th grades, I didn't go out for youth football. So my 8th grade year, I didn't go out again. And there was like 3 games left. And a classmate of mine at Carroll asked me if I wanted to come out and play on his team, Tony Music. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, I'll try it. So obviously, the first day I went, I was the biggest guy, and they put me on the line, tackle, and offensive tackle and defensive tackle. So I only played 3 games, and I really hated it. I did. I had to I don't remember the first game. The second game, I had to block Dave Clem, big Dave Clem, and that wasn't fun a bit. So the last game, I had to block Dan Ott. And me and him, I got kind of aggravated from how it
going back to baseball,
how it was going on. So I got a little more aggressive that last game, and I thought, do I really want to do this in high school? And after the game, Dan goes, one good thing, we're going to be teammates next year. And I go, good point. I said, yeah, we'll give her a shot. And thank God he said that. I not even went out. Maybe, I don't know.
The rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah, I knew going into that year we were going to be good because we had such size and athletic size on the offensive line, and a lot of these guys went both ways. And with Gus and Zeke in the backfield, a bunch of bruisers.
Yeah, you had some bruisers. So your junior year, what was the record?
6-3.
And that's when we had the coin flip with Matt.
No, our sophomore year.
That was from between, and Sam pointed it out the other night, between the seasons of 73, 74, and 75, Lincoln football went 22-6. And I'm not trying to downgrade the current program or anybody after us, but I don't think they've had a streak like that since.
Oh, no.
And
but let's go to a point to that. The playoff system was coming into effect in that, like 70.
In 74. In 73, we won the conference. We were co-champs with Danville over a coin toss. That's how they settled it.
But no playoffs going.
There were no playoffs, and of course we bumped out Matt.
Coin toss. I want to talk about that a second. Did they have some athletic directors meeting and they flipped it up and then just came back and told you?
They sat down and powwowed, and this was the way because it was going to look like it could have been a 3-way tie and stuff between Mattoon, Danville, and Lincoln. But they put their heads together, and that was the best thing they could come up with. Well, Mattoon got bumped, and we ended up being co-champs with Danville. 74. Was the first year of the playoffs, and back then only the conference champs advanced into the playoffs. There weren't any wild cards or anything like that. And 2 games left in the season, they got together because it looked like a potential tie and basically shafted us. Mac was so livid over what they did. It came down to where in our last 2 games, we would have had to win our last 2 games, and Bloomington would have had to lose their last 2 games in order for us to be conference
So you
champs.
knew it in advance. You couldn't win the conference.
It was like hitting the lottery, virtually impossible to do. So then the third year of that 3-year stretch in 75 was us. And I know Mac was gratified in the fact that we went 9-0, no coin tosses, no Matt Toon plan, as they called it in 74. They couldn't argue that one. And it did irritate, I'm sure, a lot of our opponents because, again, we were the small school in the conference, and nobody wanted to get beat by Lincoln. You know, you could do anything, but don't get beat by Lincoln, because we were the small group school.
Well, now, before we start into this last final season, I want to throw this coaching staff out here and throw some names at you, and if you got a story, tell it. But there's a lot of familiar names in here, starting in this front row with a guy I will say when I was a freshman, it was his last year at Lincoln. And I mean, I'm a freshman and he's varsity, and he scared me. If he looked at me, I wouldn't look him in the eye, and that's Denny Derricks.
Great. And unfortunately, he couldn't make it to our reunion, but he sent a message along and stuff like that. But Denny Derricks was probably, I mean, the best way to say it is Mr. Football. That guy lived, breathed. You know, Joe, he had invented offensive systems and
the double dive.
Yeah, and he fantastic coach.
Up at Geneseo won some state championships after he left for the fans.
Yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite coaches.
And Larry Shoup as well.
Oh, sure.
I hadn't got to
it.
Denny Derricks on the you take the backs and the quarterbacks on one bus and the line on the other bus. Well, Denny was always with us line. So if we would be going away game about 10 miles before we got to the town, he'd stand up and talk to us. And he'd get you really pumped up, or you'd be really scared after he was done talking, because he was a good motivator.
Intense.
Good motivator.
Yeah, he was a dude.
Oh yeah.
I would fall into the scared category when he spoke.
I was scared.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. The next guy I was going to talk about was Larry Shoup. Larry, that's when I played in. That was my first head coach, and I loved Larry. He was a good dude.
I remember one time I was running the ball, and 4 or 5 guys had me and were trying to drag me down. I'm still trying for another yard. I happened to look over at the sidelines because I'm getting turned around, and I see Coach Shoup going, "Go down, go down." I just shook my head. No.
He was a good guy.
Great guy.
Shoup.
Yeah. Great guy.
And then we got a guy out here, Ronnie Ross, and in this picture, he's all skinny and muscular.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
I think everybody that knew Ronnie Ross has a Ronnie Ross story. If not
be here all
more than one,
day.
but, unfortunately, decorum won't allow us to share any of those here today.
Mike Day. Don't remember Mike Day.
Well, I think he wasn't there very long.
No, he wasn't.
He was like maybe
assistant.
freshman coach or something.
He was a good guy.
And then you got Mike Spears that turned out to be here for 30 years.
He was here for a long time.
Yeah.
I think he got out of coaching after a while and just, I think he was like a golf coach and all kinds of, he coached at other things too, I think.
He jumped into other things.
Yeah.
Pad that retirement.
Yeah, like
thing.
you were.
Yeah. And Brad Murphy. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Remember Murph?
That one I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It's 50 years ago.
And then you had Donnie Fultz.
Yeah,
rounding out the staff.
I tell you what, I seen that picture of Donnie and I thought, I don't even remember him being coach.
I don't either.
Basketball,
I don't either.
I didn't know he coached football.
I didn't either.
Well, and then the last guy we got there is Gene McDonald, was the head coach running things.
Oh,
Can't say enough.
Good man.
I ain't getting back.
And I know Rob spoke the other night about him.
I was really thankful that Rob drove all the way from Kentucky to represent his family when we were together the other night at the KC's, which I thought was just great and stuff. And Robbie went into coaching and did well and stuff. And he couldn't make it here this morning, but I'm sure he's with us in spirit. And it was really nice of him to come all this way.
Yeah, McDonald's good. They're good people.
Coach Mack liked to get behind center every once in a while because he played quarterback in college. So, every once in a while he wanted to demonstrate a play and take the snap.
and Mac was from your old hometown, West Frankfort.
Yeah, he's down in West Frankfort. Yeah. For men are men down there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. That way I've told these guys before, that was West Frankfort and Benton held out. They were the only two schools that held out that didn't get involved in the high school playoffs for almost 8 years. They didn't get involved.
You were telling me that over there. I didn't realize that.
They just played each other for homecoming, and they said we don't want to be any part of this playoff system. And,
they couldn't have a Mattoon plan thrown at them like we had in 74, which was a really good team. I mean, we hold a record and stuff like that, but that 74 team had some real talent on it. Bill Yoshis, John Barr. I can name. I just go down the list.
We're gonna go through some of those players and some of these games and talk about the season. We're gonna take a break, and then take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna go through that 75 season with these guys. Stay with us.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. Rich is being able to keep your loved ones close and also send them away. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Sal Polis, 217-732-4001. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 20.
Hey, this is Tony Semple, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo on 96.3 FM WLCN.
We're Copper and Oak, and we're joined by the 75 football team, and we're just now going to kind of get started into this season of games. And were there any easy games in the Big 12 back then? Big 12 was a tough conference.
I would say our last game was the easiest.
Yeah.
Even the
Decatur.
we were 137.
Yeah, they came over.
halftime.
They came here, and we probably could have scored 70 points if Mac would have wanted to.
We could have put the cheerleaders in and beat those guys.
But
We should
offense,
have given the cheerleaders names. We have them over here.
offensively, we actually didn't score that many points. But defensively, we didn't give up nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
I
let's
think
talk-
our first team defense.
I was saying, let's talk about the beginning.
First team defense, we only gave up three touchdowns all year. First team defense.
I'll give some stats before we go in here. You averaged 265 yards rushing a game.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's good.
Run an option.
Yeah.
That was, Mac, that 21 option. You either ran it left or right. It kind of,
that and the sweep,
you know as well as anybody, Joe, it's all about execution. But everybody, when they saw that option, they knew where to go. But if you executed, you could still get the play.
Can't stop it,
And our offensive line knew their assignments very well. Coach Derrick's instilled in you know your job and who you're supposed
100%.
to get. And
double dive.
That was a big key. Knowing who you need to block.
Well, and you had some pretty tough running backs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. These two right
they
here.
weren't bad.
When I talked to Biskine the other night, he's not here today, right? He
went home.
Wide receiver. I didn't realize he only weighed 135 pounds until I looked at this book back then. But he was saying about how he didn't get the ball much.
Yeah.
But when he did, he was open.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to because the line and the running backs were just controlling the game.
Agreed.
A big deal.
Well, one game against Urbana, we got the kickoff in the beginning of the third quarter, and we kind of like fumbled it or something like on the 2-yard line. So we started from the 2. We went all the way down the field, and at the end of the third quarter, we scored. And they didn't even have the ball.
That's the kind
we
of
went
offense
through
I
the whole
like.
because we'd gain we'd have a first down, then the first play we'd get a penalty, and we go back. It was about 6 penalties, and
Clocks running.
Clocks running the whole time.
Well, to finish this, it's you averaged 315 yards a game total offense, which is incredible.
It's good.
That's pretty good. Defensively, you held the opponents to 90 yards per game and a 37% passing completion. So under 100 yards a game. And that's back, when you go back to, that's back when everybody was running the football.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Allow only 3 touchdowns all season against the first team defense.
I really didn't know that.
That's incredible.
Never heard that one.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that. That's pretty good. Pretty cool.
Individual honors were many, including Mark Gazauskas, All-State, 1,292 yards rushing, a new LCHS record, and All-Conference first team. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us about yourself. You gonna get some thank yous to the linemen, or was it all you?
I thank them every time I see them. Without them, it took a team. But the goal of mine coming into the year was to break the rushing record and to get a scholarship to college. And the Lanford game, I only gained like 78 yards or something, and I was so ticked off. And I just had the mentality that nobody was going to stop me. I was going to fight and fight and fight for every inch. And these guys would open a hole, and I'd be able to get into it, turn it up the field. I was fast. I ran 40 and 4.6, so I outran a lot of people. And we'd have some really long touchdowns.
Yeah, the first 2 plays from scrimmage, the first 2 possessions from scrimmage against Bloomington up there, first play he runs like 70 yards for a touchdown. We stop him, we get the ball back. He does the same thing on the first play. two 70-yard runs on his first 2 carries.
Gus was fast, but he ran over people as well. Same for Zeke. Zeke wasn't fast, but he ran over people.
Well, did you ever give the quarterback any kudos too? Because he's carrying out those fakes, so everybody doesn't go with
Sure, he ran the option very well. I was talking
to him.
I was talking to Doug last night, and he said I'd go to put the ball in Zeke's gut, and he said I was going to pull it out because I saw guys were going to hit him. And it was like, Zeke clamped down on the ball, and you got to pull it back out. And I told him, I said, I want to thank you for so many times when we were running that option, there'd be like the defensive end coming at you, and I had 4 defensive backs coming at me, and you'd pitch me the ball.
I don't know if he liked you or not.
And in my head, I'm thinking, Jesus, thanks,
A lot of times
Doug.
I got rid of 3 of them.
Zeke was brutal. I don't remember the game or whatnot, but I do remember one distinct play when we opened up a hole big enough to fit a 747, and Zeke went running through it, and I'd slipped on the grass, and I looked up, and Zeke's down the field about 15 yards with 3 guys on his back. And then some little bitty guy that took 4 people to take him down. That's the one that tipped him over, and of course he fell for it. He was just
I couldn't outrun anybody.
He was a locomotive.
I was pretty fast, but I had a better chance of running him over.
Well, north and
away
south.
from him.
You're right. I want to finish this as we continue, though. When it came to the end of the season, Gazowskis, Zerkammer, Schonauer, first team all-conference on offense and defense, which is pretty incredible. And that's back when they really named like one quarterback, one lineman, like one right guard.
There was
now it's kind of
first
different.
team, second team, and then they went into the mentions, like honorable mentions, special mentions.
And all these guys, honorable mention, but for you to be first team both ways on the conference team is incredible.
Yes.
And then it said Danny Ott, Kevin Thompson, Dave Clem, Mark Hazley, Steve Pluth, Jim Kuznick, Randy Feast, all honorable mentions, all conference.
Mm-hmm. We kind of had it padded when it came to the conference teams that year.
Offensively, we had 11 seniors start. Defensively, we had 5 juniors start. So we had 6 seniors. And I think
Jeff got a lot of playing time too.
Yeah. So we're gonna. I was gonna say didn't want to cut you off, but I did want to get to the part of you guys are all you went through doubles. We're gonna leave a little story out there that I'd like to tell about your last day of doubles. But you did you did get to the beginning. It's okay now to tell it. It's fun.
It's out there.
But you're ready to go. You're getting ready for this first game, and you got an excellent quarterback coming in, and Greg Prisk, and then things go south.
Yeah.
And then you had to have some guys step up.
And as I said last night with Bob, and we were on the radio at the game, Zeke and I and Gus and Doug Reifsteck. Doug, to me, was the MVP of that team. He had been a backup pretty much his entire high school career. He got some playing time and stuff like that, but now all of a sudden, 2 days before the game, you're the starting quarterback.
That was 2 days before the first game.
And he did a fantastic job. He didn't miss a lick. But he knew everything. Doug's just a smart kid anyhow, or guy. He knew every play frontwards and backwards, and it was just execution, and he rose to the occasion. He stepped up, and I really can't say enough about how well he did that year. It was great.
He did.
Jeff, you had to jump in that seat too.
Jeff got in there.
Yeah, so I'd only played quarterback 3 games my sophomore year, and I broke my collarbone. So I was out. So then I was kind of thrown into the fire. Doug and I split a lot of time at quarterback. And it was intimidating being around this group as a junior, right? But, Doug played very well that year, and so we made it work. But Greg was a tremendous athlete. He'd have been another running back. He would have been another running back at quarterback.
Well, Greg would have brought a whole bunch more offense to the team.
For sure.
He wouldn't have played defense, but our offensive, we would have scored more points. But we still wouldn't have gave up nothing. And we would have beat teams
and
worse.
I never witnessed this, but one of the legendary stories is that he could stand flat-footed and dunk a basketball.
Yeah,
true.
Vertical jump.
And he was fast. He was just as fast as anybody on the team.
Yep.
Anybody.
Probably one of the fastest players.
Probably the fastest player on the team.
We used to call him Apollo because he was so built.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was. He's an athlete.
Yeah,
boy.
he was.
And and I know that Sam talked about this, but you lost SHG. SHG went on out, played Joliet Catholic, and got beaten in the state championship. And then Sam went to SHG, did all those games on the radio, and got to know all those guys that played you guys. And I mean, he said the other night that all of those guys said that Lincoln was actually the best team that they played. Joliet wasn't.
I had never heard that before. I know one of his color guy from the last time we had a reunion, which was 10 years ago, and it was Sam's color guy on the radio, also just happened to play on the Griffin team when we played against him. And he told Sam, and Sam relayed it to us at that reunion, that he said that was the hardest game he'd ever played in his life. The hardest hitting game and stuff like that was against us.
Well, I think their starting tailback, we separated his shoulder, I think. That's another.
Look how he smiles.
He went out of the game.
I think we separated his shoulder.
That was another shoulder I was involved in.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
We win that game if Gus hadn't got hurt the last game of the year.
Yeah, that game is kind of interesting too, though, because again, I think a lot of it gets back to nobody wanted to get beat by the smallest school in the conference and in the Central Illinois football scene. They knew where we were going to run that ball. Kevin will tell you this. He was on the line. Every time we went up there, and we're like, what the hell is this guy standing in the hole? Or, it's like they had us scouted to the T's. Plus, it's high school football, so you don't have this playbook, 3 inches thick. You're
not going to change what you're doing.
Yeah, and if the old adage, if it works, don't fix it. Keep going with what you're doing. And
well, yeah. Also, you probably know all the other Springfield schools probably sold us out.
Oh, 100%.
They were
100%.
sending tapes over, yeah. But that game was, I don't know. I think I'm not trying to, sour grapes, but it was kind of, They had us faded. It was going to be hard to win that game, and as a matter of fact, we didn't score until the fourth quarter. 7 minutes left in the game.
Gus, were you out that game or just injured?
I got my knee hurt the last game of the season.
And then you play Wednesday. For the people that don't realize, that's back when the state tournament, you played Friday night and the first game playoffs was Wednesday.
Right. So Coach Mack's wife took me over to the University of Illinois Saturday morning to see their team doctor. And he comes in, messes with my knee and says, "Can you stand a little needle poking?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He comes in with this big needle, tells me to roll over on my stomach, sticks it in the back of my knee up to the front, pulls a bunch of fluid off. He did that 5 or 6 times. I came out walking worse than I went in. But I was begging Coach Mack all first half to put me in. And I think he thought we could pull it out. He finally put me in the second half. And
as soon as he came in, the first series, he scored.
Yeah, the first play, I was running out, and he yells the play to me. And so I go in the huddle and call the play, and it's coming to me. We come up to the line, and the whole Griffin line's going, "Go for his right knee, go for his right knee."
They got an injury report.
They had us scouted.
Yeah, and they did the entire second half. I had to really do some juking to keep them away from it.
Boy, you guys, you had a nice run. So any other those games stand out to you guys, like plays or games or just the
Centennial.
fun stuff?
Centennial, isn't that one?
That was Central when we won 12-10. And
right at the end. But what game was it?
Dave Clem blocked that field goal at the end of the game.
Blocked it. That's the one play I remember throughout the whole season. I'll never forget it because I got it ejected from the game for sparing.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Did you always have a temper?
You know what? When I was growing up, there was an offensive lineman, you guys might have heard of him, named Conrad Dobler.
Oh, yeah, 66.
Played for the St. Louis Cardinals, and Sports Illustrated did an article about the dirtiest player in the NFL.
I have that. Actually,
he was my idol. So I would do anything to get in somebody's head, and then they would throw their game off. But it ended up that I supposedly speared their star running back, a guy by the name of Ricky Brown, who went on to play for Purdue. And it was early in the second half, and so I didn't play hardly at all the second half. And I'm standing on the sidelines, and it was basically their last play of the game. They were about on our 20-yard line. They seconds on the clock, and they had a really good field goal kicker. And I could see Dave Clem on the line, and his eyes were just like focused on it. And when that ball snapped, he was like lightning. And he didn't want to take the chance of missing it with his hands. He smothered the ball. He literally just smothered the ball like it was a fumble. The kicker got so mad, he kicked him right in the head. But that's what won the game. We got the ball back, and the rest was history. And
what game was it? Was it when we won the Big 12?
That was,
and right when the game ended,
that was the Central
skies
game.
Just unleashed a torrential rain down.
Yeah, after Champaign game, my brother was in the stands in Champaign game, and he yells down at me and says, Springfield just beat Danville. Springfield just beat Danville. So I went in the huddle and I said, all we got to do is win this game, boys, and we're champs. So we ended up winning the game, and everybody's celebrating and all that. And I went down the locker room, and I'm taking my stuff off, and I look around, there ain't nobody here. And I go, where's everybody at? It started to pour rain. Everybody stayed on the field and slid around. They ran up and Sam was talking to them on the radio.
Coach Mack was out there getting red.
And I didn't want to put everything back on, so I just stayed in the locker room. So I missed the celebration.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. You had a great run. You went out there with a lot of, I call them soldiers. They're your buddies when you're on that football field. They're your buddies. And I know you've lost a few. I know if you wanted to get some guys' names out.
Yes, we'd like to honor our fallen teammates. We got too many. We had number 25, Kirk Kvetli, number 27, Steve Pluth, number 29, Bob Rollins. Timeout.
Blind in one eye, can't see out of the other.
Number 43, Randy Feast. Number 60, Frank Rodriguez. Number 61, Eric Spanton. Number 69, Jim Babs. Number 78, Dan Ott. And number 83, Rod Brown.
9 of
wow.
Since.
And I think there was 34 or 35 of us.
Right.
So that's a third of the team, more or less, almost, right there.
Right. Yeah, I think there's 34 of us.
So this will probably be our last reunion because 10 years ago there was only 3. Now there's 9. Lost 6 in 10 years.
You're going to have some more reunions, Zeke.
Well,
you never know.
Might have only 2 or 3 players.
Yeah, well,
hopefully we can have.
For the amount, and we tried to contact everybody. You know how it is. You lose contact with people over the years and stuff like that. But all in all, I think we had 11 players and 2 of our managerial staff that showed up for the reunion, and that was nice. It was a good time.
Well, 4 of us up here live in Lincoln. So we can all get together anytime we want.
Yeah.
And we brought Jeff in from up north.
Jeff,
he's city boy.
He lives all over the world.
City boy is what he is.
He's between homes.
I'm in Sarasota in the winter and Mokina, Illinois.
Mokina, Illinois.
Yeah, southwest of it.
Yep.
Is there did you want to have you had a list of thank yous?
Yeah, I did. I really, and actually, number 1 on the list is I wanted to thank you and WLCN and Joe. This is our second reunion, and you were gracious enough to have us on for the last one, and again this one. So we really appreciate it.
We all enjoy it. You guys are legends.
Also wanted to thank Bob Verderber and Coach Schweitzer last night for having Zeke, Gus, and I, and Doug Reifsteck on the air at halftime. And stuff. That was really nice.
That's the way we like it, baby.
That's right. And old Doug. And also the Knights of Columbus Hall and Kate Ross, who's the event planner there. If you ever need a reception hall or whatnot, I'm going to put in some cheap plugs here. Contact the KCs. They do a great job, and they did a great job for us. I also want to thank Lincoln High School staff, Sam White in the activities department, who got things lined up for us and whatnot. And Chris Hammer, who had us in the parade yesterday, which I think was kind of the highlight for everybody. We had a great time in that parade. I was just amazed. I hadn't been to a homecoming parade probably in over 50 years. The amount of people. Yeah. I think Kevin said it best. He was sitting next to me on the fire truck, and he goes, "I didn't think Lincoln had this many kids."
Hey,
they were everywhere.
There was a ton.
I didn't get there because I was doing other things, but I'm going to have to find some pictures of you guys in that on that fire truck.
And that gets to the last and not least is Chief Ty Johnson here in town.
Yep. Good guy.
We tried to get a fire truck through them, and that kind of fell through, but Chief went the extra step and contacted one of his buddies, Chris Langley of Mid-State Fire Repair up in Atlanta, and they brought down a truck for us and whatnot. So if you got any fire trucks that ever need repaired, make sure you call Mid-State, and any equipment. But Chris did a great job, came down, he brought his crew with us, and
thanks to his crew, that none of us fell off.
Yeah,
that was the key.
Yeah, it was scary.
That's exactly what needs to happen.
And they helped us up and down. So,
it took each of us about 5 minutes to climb up and down.
No, a lot of people, helped us out with this, and again, we're all grateful and thankful, and especially to WLCN for you guys for having us on again. Phenomenal.
And what about our guest speaker tonight? Because he was very good.
Sam
Voice of the
Madonia.
Railers.
Sam, again, it's kind of like Ron Ross. Everybody I know has a Sam Madonia story that knows him, and probably a dozen of them. And you just can't say enough about Sam. He's phenomenal. He's a legend in his own time, really.
Oh yeah.
He taught us all. We all had him. So.
Right or wrong, he taught you things.
Yeah,
we did learn something.
We didn't have Ross in class. We just
Ross, he's something else.
Thank God we didn't have him in class.
Him and Dee were our freshman football coaches, and that's a good way to start off your football career, is with them two guys.
And really, all they did was talk to you every day about going out
They
and
taught you how to be mean.
Well, they wouldn't
taught you
wrestling.
about a one-on-one confrontation.
Ross was with us as sophomores as well.
Yeah.
He stayed with us until the varsity level, and then when we moved up to varsity. But yeah, all in all, there were some great athletes at the time. Back in the mid '70s and stuff like that. Joe, with the history of football. Back then, if you were 180 pounds, you were a lineman and considered kind of big.
Big dude.
If you got to 200, you were considered gigantic. But nowadays, look at these guys. Yeah. Zach Poole, bless his heart, big as a mountain,
Yeah, he is.
Good kid and good family. His father, Troy, known him for years.
He's a big dude.
He's up at, I talked to Troy last night at the game. He's up at the University of Wisconsin today at a camp up there.
Yep.
Last visit. He'll be making some selections soon.
Well, didn't Dan Ott's dad play basketball at Nebraska?
I believe so.
Yeah,
you're right.
He did.
Charlie.
And Charlie was Gabe Lincoln, for all that years.
Sure.
And he was a star.
Now, we talked about this earlier, but Danny was tragically killed in an auto accident. That's right. It wasn't very long after high school, was it?
No, it was. I'll tell you when it was. It was in 2000 because I was working on the south side.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. He was married, and how many kids did he have? He had three or four
three
kids.
little kids at the time.
He was young.
I went to his wake, and it was sad.
Yep.
Them 3 little kids, and he's, he got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Truck accident. Yeah.
On the highway.
Great family, the Otts. They were good people. Yep.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
He went way before his time.
You knew about Frank Rodriguez, didn't you?
Yes.
His story was on Dateline.
Yes.
That his wife poisoned him. Poor guy.
Frank was a scrappy kid too. I knew him from Carroll. The whole Rodriguez family, they all went there. And
good wrestler.
He was a good wrestler, but he was just nuts and just a grinder, kind of like this big guy next to me. He just always tough. He gave it his all and everything. And all the guys that have since passed. Steve Pluth, Gus and I and Zeke were all in school together. He left and he went to Illinois College and played 4 years. And stuff, and then Dan, he went out to Simpson out in Iowa, played 4 years or whatnot. Gus and I lasted about a year in college and said, "Ah, to hell with it."
I lasted a little longer.
Yeah. Of course, my excuse was I was in Carbondale, so not like I couldn't find anything else to do. Jeff was in Carbondale.
I was in Carbondale as well, yeah.
I should have been kicked out my freshman year, but
that was.
Well, you know, we're all learning when we're young, right? You guys, like we say, you guys have all matured.
Boy,
not making
learned a lot.
We learned a lot about Halloween in Carbondale.
Yes, we did.
Oh boy,
They've done away with that now, haven't they?
I think so.
Yeah, if they're smart,
They're actually trying to bring it back, I heard, because they lost so much revenue over it.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
The strip
Yeah,
was
that was
not the way
wild.
it is, but now, like I said, that whole season was. I don't think I really realized what we had done until it was over. You know, and
Well,
stuff.
certainly you don't when it's going on.
You're kind of concentrating on what you're doing, and hopefully, we were fortunate that we were all. The one thing, Dave Bush, one of our teammates, said this at our last reunion, was that the one thing we all had together, everybody sitting here and with us at the last reunions, is we love the game of football. We didn't necessarily hang out together or whatnot in the off season. Some of us did, some of us didn't. But every fall we would get together, and a lot of the guys that, like our senior year, and I'm sure Jeff had it in his class too, they played 4 years of football, and stuff, and they and to
they're
this
your
day,
buddies.
And to this day they still love the game. They still are. Either they watch it or are actively involved in it and stuff.
And the Big 12 back then was one of the toughest conferences around.
Oh, that was very tough.
Danville platoon, which was a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. And they were always tough.
Yeah, if you were able to platoon, you're going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've got Chatham coming over here in a few weeks, and they've got 40 seniors on the team.
Wow.
They've got it, but they're
school.
Yeah. It's amazing too, because Chatham has grown in the last 50 years.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I think Chatham, when we were in high school, just started, didn't it?
They
just started high school.
That was
look at them now.
Well, that was like a walkover when you played Chatham back in the 70s, because it was just a small rural town.
In any sport.
It was like Beeson had a football team or something.
Aren't they like 7A now or something?
Oh, they're what?
What are they like?
I think they're 6A.
They're up there. They're bigger than Lincoln because of all the growth they've had out there, and of course with the growth you get the numbers and you get a better selection. Their school and whatnot. But yeah, they've got a heck of a program, and then Rochester and Sacred Heart Griffin.
Oh, 100%. You guys have a hard time rooting for SHG now or not?
Well, I think I told you the story that my neighbor, Bert Wilkins, if you're listening, Bert, we were at a birthday dinner in Springfield, and his uncle, John Allison, is the coach now at Sacred Heart Griffin.
An LCHS grad.
And that's right. And we were sitting at the table at this birthday party, and John was sitting next to me and Burke was sitting across from me, and I looked at him and I said, this is the first time that I've been near, the closest I've been to any Griffin football players in over 40 years.
Zeke, should I tell them about baseball when we played Griffin?
Yeah, if you want.
We played Griffin in baseball after they had beat us in football. And there was one guy in the dugout the whole game just bragging they beat us and everything. I looked in the dugout, knew who he was, and he wasn't playing. And I was playing center field, and Ryman brought me in to pitch, and I got a real surprise. Mr. Loudmouth was pinch hitting, so I already knew what I was going to do. But Zeke comes out to me, and he was like, "First pitch, you hit that guy," and I was like, "Big, I'm a step ahead of you." First pitch, bam, right in the helmet. And Zeke's behind him going, "Go get him, go get him, go get him." Trying to start a benches brawl. But we taught him a lesson real quick.
You probably learned from that.
I think he probably
did.
did.
Heckled again.
Well, guys, any shout-outs you want to give? You got some listeners at home that
Of
paying
course, I want
attention?
to say hi to my lovely wife, Patty.
There you go.
Who I know is listening on the air. Love you, dear.
Hello, Carmen. I'll be home in a few minutes. I'm a little bit hungry, okay?
And Zeke's bringing us home for lunch.
I'll say hi to my family, Sarah, Zach, Hannah, and my granddaughter, Lily.
Good.
And my wife, Denise. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Kevin Thompson, I'm single. Never been married.
You want to put your phone number out there?
All my parents are both passed because they're older than me.
Imagine that.
But there is one story I'd like to say, and it was our senior year, the very first game. They were handing out our jerseys, these are new jerseys, you know, and we're looking at them, and I think it was Biskeen, me, and Ott, and when we looked up and we go, "Hey, Coach, if we go undefeated, we get to keep the jerseys." And Coach Shoup smiled, yeah, sure you can. So at the end of the season, he's coming around collecting jerseys from everybody, you know, at the end of the season, so no one would steal them. And he came to the three of us, and he goes, he looks at us, "Oh, give me your jerseys," because, you know, we looked at him, he said we could keep them. And he just kind of smiled at us and, "Oh, okay." And so every year the KFC puts on a little banquet for the seniors. So we go to this banquet, we're all at the end of the thing, they're handing out special accommodations, and they say, "Well, this year we're going to be giving out the jerseys." He goes, "Everyone here is going to get a jersey except three of you." And we're all back there going, okay, yeah, you said we can keep them, we kept them, and that's, you know, and he's up there smiling, "Oh, three of you aren't going to get them," and I'm like, okay, I can live with that.
You still have it?
Yeah, well, no, I lost it when I moved to California, so.
I sent mine to my grandson. I've given him all my jerseys and awards, but I want to say hi to my son Brock out in Nevada, and my grandson Balian, and my daughter Brian's in Chicago. Julie's at home sleeping. But
she can watch the replay.
Right.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, I want to thank you all for being on.
Thank you,
Thanks
Joe.
for having us.
Zeke, no matter what you say, I think you're back here in 5 or 10 years. We're doing the same thing.
Okay. Donuts again?
Yep, donuts.
Okay.
Donuts. Why wouldn't we?
I have to really think about it, but sounds good.
You guys are really still legends around here. I want you to know that. You know, we talked a lot as a coaching staff. You know, when I was there, I went through 14 head coaches, and we would all tell, you know, 75 stories, this and that about you guys. So yeah, you're pretty well known out there with high school football in Lincoln. So
We appreciate it.
Congratulations. Heck of a
Thank
season.
you. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
That's going to do it for us today on the Cheap Seats. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us. We're next Saturday, downtown Chicago. Good day.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.